It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by
ProMed Ambulance Services. Care you can count on.
And Beth Smith at Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. A major star in the AWA during the 1960s, wrestler Larry Hennig was known by the nickname The Axe because of his signature finishing move, dropping a full-weight elbow onto his opponents. He was the father of Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig, one of 5 children, and the grandfather of Curtis Axel and Amy Miss Perfect Hennig. Born in Minneapolis on June 18, 1936, Larry was a state wrestling champion in high school. He was awarded a scholarship from the University of Minnesota to wrestle and play football, but had to quit due to the priorities of family and raising children. In the early 60s, Hennig entered the AWA under the guidance of Vern Gagne. He eventually found some main event success and shared a brief tag team championship reign with Duke Hoffman, but due to frequently losing to rougher, more experienced wrestlers, he began questioning the scientific style instilled into him by Gagne and looked toward a different approach in kayfabe. Hennig left the AWA for a while for a stint in the Texas territories. While touring Texas, he adopted a more brutal style and won the Texas heavyweight title. He then struck up a friendship with Harley Race. Following the mutual commitment in Amarillo, the two broke out as a new team in the Minneapolis wrestling scene. Race and Hennig branded themselves as Handsome Harley Race and Pretty Boy Larry Hennig, who broke all the rules to win matches. In 1965, they defeated Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher to capture the AWA World Tag Team Championship, becoming at the time the youngest tag team champions ever. Hennig and Race continued to feud with the Bruiser and Crusher and other top teams for the next several years, amassing 3 title reigns. After a tour of Europe, the two returned to America in the fall of 1966 and defeated Bruiser and Crusher one more time for the AWA Tag Team Championship in January 1967. On November 1st, 1967, during a tag team match in Winnipeg, Ray competed in a snowmobile race, driving through a chicken coop. On one occasion, Hennig was in the middle of lifting Johnny Powers as another opponent rammed into him from the front. As he dropped Powers to the mat, Hennig found that his knee had bent inward. Despite severe damage to the cartilage and tendons, he refused to go to the hospital and instead had Harley Race drive him 500 miles home to Minneapolis. The injury ended their last title run. The AWA allowed Race to select another partner to defend the championship, though he and Larry Hennig briefly reteamed a little over a year later. After Race returned home to Kansas City to pursue a singles career in the NWA, Hennig himself found work as a singles competitor. In 1974, he turned face, grew a full red beard, and called himself The Axe. During this time, Hennig appeared in the independent film The Wrestler, where he faced his boss and one-time in-ring rival Vern Gagne at the Cow Palace in the opening match. In 1976, he briefly teamed up with Joe LeDuc. In 1984, he joined up with his son Curt for a run in PNW via Portland before retiring the following year. Hennig then sold real estate with his wife, dabbled into commodity futures, and even worked as an auctioneer. In February 2003, Larry Hennig was dealt a crushing blow when Curt died of a drug overdose at the age of 44. After the highly publicized death of Chris Benoit, Hennig shared a few words with USA Today regarding premature deaths in wrestling. Larry outlived his son by 15 years, dying on December 6, 2018, of kidney failure at the age of 82. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia?
Then join me for Trivia Tracks weekdays at 6:45 on Everybody's Country Y95.